before that. And he comes and presents to us and we'll make him go stand in the hall.
Yeah. That's fair.
Just a thought.
If you,
Okay. Thank you. Dick,
I know, sorry.
I can't believe I'm not moving right now. Like,
Just sit still.
How many places did you play?
Probably got 6 left, so probably 40 something. Shovel, plow. It's all fun. Hey, you know, I was telling you I didn't have any work and I was freaking
No, I
out now.
Yeah.
It's time.
Still
Okay.
gonna come, right?
Okay.
All right, welcome everyone to the February 3rd, 2025 regular meeting of the Lyman Select Board. This meeting is a public proceeding and is being recorded. If everyone can join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to start out, that would be great.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a motion that we do the Historical Society before the executive session.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
So.
Hello there.
Hello. I'm Steve Lord, and I live at 149 Chapel Shores Road in Lyman, Maine, and I'm with the Lyman Historical Society. And I haven't seen you since last year, but we are back, and it's 2025, and there's a major historical commemoration this year. It is the 250th anniversary of Lexington and Concord, and it is the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Bunker Hill. And so I did some research and I made a display board, which you can keep. I'm not taking it back. And this is what it looks like. And these are the official 250th logos for Lexington and for Bunker Hill.
Nice.
And I'm going to read it, some of this stuff to you, and then I'm going to pass it down and you can keep it. Okay. So the two events that took place 250 years ago was the Battle of Lexington and Concord. And we'll start with that one. And there are a lot of activities, both of these, that are going to be coming up in April and in June. And you can go online and you can see all the stuff that they have planned for this. But of course, the famous part of this was Paul Revere's riding out and sounding the alarm. And how the alarm worked was each town, and of course we were part of Massachusetts. We weren't a town yet, but every town in Massachusetts had what was called an alarm list, and it was like volunteer fire department. And when the alarm came, you went, and if you went, you got paid. So the alarm was sounded, and the alarm got up into York County, and they assembled and they started marching down towards Lexington and Concord. However, they only made it across the Piscataqua River and it was over. So, but they got paid. They were on the alarm list and they got paid. And a bunch of them subsequently, we weren't a town then, moved to Lyman. And these are the Lyman residents, I'm going to read them to you, who marched to the alarm on April 19th. Gideon Batchelder, and he was born in Beverly, and he was marching from Danvers, Massachusetts, and he moved to Coxall in 1797. Jonathan Boston from Wells was here in 1796. Benjamin Evans was born in Rollinsford, New Hampshire, and he enlisted from Berwick, Maine. and he was here in 1790. Amaziah Goodwin, who's buried up in Chadbourne Cemetery, is from Somersworth, and he also fought at Bunker Hill, and he was in Coxville before 1786. Thomas Lowe was from Ipswich, Massachusetts, and he marched from Ipswich, Massachusetts. And he came to Coxville in 1777. Lewis Martin had bought 500 acres of land here in Lyman, even though he was living in Wells, and he enlisted in Wells. And eventually he came here, and he was the first constable and one of the first tax collectors that we had in Lyman. And George Ricker, who was from Somersworth, and he was also fought at Bunker Hill, and he was in Coxville by 1778. So that is the list of the people who marched to the alarm on April 19th. Now we have a longer list of eventually Lyman residents who fought at Bunker Hill. Nathaniel Brackett, Simeon Chadbourne, he has a very elaborate revolutionary gravestone and marker up in Chadbourne Cemetery that's been photographed quite a bit. Joseph Dennett, John Emmons, Pendleton Emmons they were both from Kennebunk. Joshua Kilpatrick was from Wells, and he was here by 1790. Thomas Gould was born in Wells, and he was here in 1790. Gideon Hanscom was in Kittery, and he was here in 1787. John Lowe, who was quite prominent in this town, he's buried in the Congregational Cemetery up on Howard Road. He was here by 1778 from Beverly. Jeremiah Roberts was born in Somersworth, and he was here in 1798. And he didn't know how to spell Coxville when he signed the paperwork. He spelled it Coiux Hall. I don't know where he came up. And James Smith,
Only he knows.
James Smith, who was from Wells, and he was here in 1790. So we have a lot of soldiers to remember this year, Revolutionary soldiers from these two famous events. So you may be interested to go online and see what some of the events are down in Massachusetts. And this is something you can put up here for us to look at as far as our soldiers to remember.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
All
much.
right. So I'm going to hand it out over here, and you'll end up with it over there.
Yeah, to the wall.
I just did.
Awesome. In case people at home want to see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Well, they can
See?
see it.
Zoom.
Yeah. Zoom in.
Can you see it,
Can you
Dave?
read that, Dave?
Yeah, I zoom in.
That's awesome. I really love these things. This is fascinating to me.
See, April 19th, was it?
Hmm?
April 19th?
Yep.
Yes, because he rode on April 18th, and by the next morning is when they're getting rolling. But unfortunately, all that happened down there, so they didn't get too far. A couple who marched to the alarm, though, from Massachusetts may well have gotten there because they weren't coming from Ipswich. Danvers area isn't that far, so they may have well got there. But the ones from up here obviously didn't make it down there.
For them to march from up here
Mhm.
and make it past the Piscataqua River is pretty impressive.
In a day,
Yeah,
that's a day's work,
yeah,
so they earned their pay.
I guess.
Okay.
Steve, do you know if there's any families, descendants that still live in Lyman
Well,
from these soldiers?
I
mean, there are a lot of familiar
Familiar
names,
names,
but I don't know.
yeah,
if
they
there's-
if you go into the early families book and you trace genealogy, I'm sure they're going to be related in some way to some of those people. And of course, you have a bunch of roads named after these people too. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely our people.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Anyone?
Oh, I'll make a motion to go into executive session for MRSA 405E discussion regarding consultation regarding legal counsel.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, gentlemen, you have to leave the room until
Oh, sorry.
the executive session is
I
complete.
wonder
Sorry
if we
about
should
that.
have done that. Too. Whoops.